Making a jungle bedroom / cave. So we're gonna be doing with some of these tools. We're gonna be working with some of these tools. So let my dad.
So you go through with them. Basically, to start off with, we're going to need a few tools. Extension is going to be very helpful. Heat gun. It's got 2 settings. It's,
burn everything.
Exactly. Watch it, it's hot. We can use multi-tool. These are fantastic. And we'll be using this to make all the rock effect.
Also, we might need the drill.
Yeah, the trusty Makita. Most expensive hammer I've ever bought. Back end, you can beat stuff with it. Obviously, you can see the shape of this room. It is on a houseboat, which is why
awesome.
We've got some really funky shapes. You probably won't need this, but we're going to do this because we're going to be screwing straight to the drywall. We're going to need a contrail. This is for the back of the polystyrene to adhere to the walls. Again, if you do it in your house, obviously your house is going to have flat walls. Wire brush, bit of texture on there. Trusty tape measure and the Sharpie. If you get bored, you can draw some moustaches on the kid's face. Also, it depends what thickness you want to use. I'm using 25mm purely because of the size of the walls. It will give you deep enough grain.
We're going to be using some of this
to double it up.
So we're going to be using some of this to stick stuff on the walls.
And this is chocolate cake. Kelly, you're going to eat some, yeah?
No!
Why not? Yeah. Don't eat it. It's not. It's drywall adhesive.
Awesome.
And then we're going to use cheap paintbrushes that are going to get rather messed up, and trusty drywall adhesive. That is from B&Q. It is the satanic place. I hate using it. All my other materials have really come from local builders merchants. It's more ethical, you know. And to be honest, normally it's a lot cheaper, and the boys are a lot more helpful. So we're going to get into it. We're going to obviously show you how to adhere this, obviously, to the walls to start off with. What we're going to use is, it doesn't matter which size you're going to use.
Yeah, it's quite good.
But
it's going to be quite good to stick.
It's a rough cut. You don't have to be too precise, surely, because we are going to be painting this with the drywall as well, which can fill in any gap, and also that will carry on the adhesion to the wall. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to get our trusty drywall adhesive. I lost my bucket trowel, so we're using a scraper at the moment. So we're going to dump that onto the back of it. And we're going to use our tom trowel. I'm going to use the small edge, and we're basically going to spread that all over. What this is going to do is, one, it's going to adhere it to the walls, and two, with the polystyrene, when you start carving it, it's going to start flapping, and this will stop all that, which means when we paint on the drywall for the final 2 coats, it is going to stop any movements in the back of it, which is going to make it a lot more rigid. And less movement means it's not going to crack.
Yes and yeah.
Yes and yes.
No, I said yes and yes because that stuff is sticky. You do not want to get that in your mouth.
Yeah.
You just licked
you
it.
should be wearing gloves with this. This stuff will
But screw
dry
gloves!
your hands out quite a lot, and you know, dermatitis and stuff. So if you are not going to wear gloves,
But screw gloves.
put in sort of, you know, some hand cream and that. So basically, on your flat walls, all you're going to do is just bang it on. The problem I've got is I've got a curvature to the wall that's being a boat. So what I've done is I've just taken some screws and a bit of vinyl. I've cut them, and I'm just going to fix them into place until this stuff dries. Just make sure they'll line up. It doesn't matter obviously the overhang because we're going to be carving this.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be too precise with what you're doing. But what you're looking for is any movement in it. As you can see, there's a bit of movement in there. And as you can see, there's a bit more movement in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put another one in there, because we want this to be solid and tight to the wall. and I'm just going to fix these in. As you can see on this piece, I've done this already, and then we simply just remove overnight after the drywall adhesive has gone off, and then just simply just carry on putting this stuff in there.
Yeah, we need that stuff so it dries and keeps it on the wall. So at the end, once it's going to be done, we're going to be taking that stuff out and we'll be showing you what it
So
looks
we've got a bit
like.
of flex in here, which is what we want to remove, and obviously this is going to draw the bolt to the back of the wall and the adhesive will set. Just like that. So this is what we're going to do all the way around, and obviously keep all your little shards in your off cut. One, it costs money, so we want to do this as cheap as possible. And two, if you want to make some sort of like rocky outcrops, use this stuff. Same sort of principle. What we're going to do, and it's switch up, is we're just going to take some more of this.
Use my contrail.
Contrail, mate, contrail.
Oh, I don't get what it's called.
But then you look silly, won't you?
Here we go.
And then simply we're just going to slap it anywhere we want. But for that, obviously, we don't want it sliding down, so you just take some. These are hammer fixings and just jab it in there. These will come out once it's done, but it will stop any drop. And then what we'll do is we'll end up with sort of build-ups like this. There's some funky stuff going in here, which once the ceiling's on, we're just going to put in a light blue. But there's going to be a lot of area that's going to be open, so we're going to put some like trees and foliage and some mushrooms and stuff like that. As well with this, we're going to start playing a lot with resins to make this look really, really funky. So yeah, I'll get on with the carving now. So I'm going to get my tools out and I'm going to go through a process.
And also,
of
this
carving.
is what the trees will look like.
Yeah, these are the trees. It doesn't look much at the moment, but it's just a bit of welding wire. We'll go through
Want to see
this
the mushrooms?
on a later date. We'll go through the mushrooms. We'll go through all the sort of different techniques once this is all based up, painted,
We're a bit easier there.
and all of that. Hey, let's push up, buddy. So, first of all, what we're going to do, we'll launch that. So as you can see, I tend to not draw it on. I like just to let it flow. Obviously here, we're going to have a door in here as well. We've got some crazy ideas with that. They've got to be bifolding because we don't actually have the room like you would in a normal house. So they've got to fold in themselves. We'll see if we can get one lifting up like a car boot. We'll see what happens when we get into it. But for you, just take your Sharpie and then you can draw it on there. So it's, you know, you don't even have to be really creative. You know, you just want to make some marks on here. And base out what we're going to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing. But first of all, because we're going to end up like snowmen, and if I can work this out, I'm going to put on there the Frozen song, Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Because this is about what I'm going to look like in a minute. So we're going to put a mask on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to draw along this line. And then after that we're going to turn it at 45 to open up the gaps. But if we go through this, it's going to make a lot of noise in a minute. So bear with me and we can go through the process once we've done these lines. So now we've got the base line that we're going to do, but now we want to open this up. Bear in mind we are quite thick here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this and technically chisel it away.
I've made some more.
Now what we've done is we've opened these cracks up. It doesn't really matter if you go this deep.
Yeah,
because as we...
And I've made some more of this stuff.
What, you stick at your head, yeah?
Well, I made this as well. So I'll just put it on now.
As you can see, because when we get round to the final painting, we're going to force some of this into there. One that's going to adhere to the wall again, and obviously two, it's going to close that gap up.
Stick this on, Dad.
Yeah, put it on anyway, mate.
Okay, put it on. Okay, so I'll put this on and let me just find some cuts that stick.
So now we've got obviously the deep crevice. You've got a couple of options.
I'll be fine.
You can either keep chipping away at it, or you can get your
I'm
heat
just
gun.
going to be making some more of this stuff
Now,
so I can make the whole wall.
What your heat gun's going to do is open it up once it gets hot. And if you can see, as it melts, it's going to open it up. It depends what sort of texture you want. You know, some stones are a lot more rounded. I wanted to go for more of a natural look, more of a slate look, I suppose. And then that's going to basically give us our shape. Now for texture. We're going to use the same sort of process, but opposed to using it and cutting it out, we're going to keep it quite flat to the wall. And as we go flat into the wall, we're going to put it out. And what that's going to achieve is it's going to give us a rough sort of texture.
Yeah, and I've made another
like
one
this.
again.
So if we get on with that. And what you're looking for, you want to over exaggerate this because we are putting 2 coats of the drywall adhesive on. So obviously that is going to close these lines up a little bit. So after we've got this sort of effect, we've got a couple of options now. We can go back in and you know, you can look at this and think, well, this doesn't quite look right. Away. You do remember with this you can't really add to it, so you can obviously put a new board over the top, but take away a little bit at a time as such. There's other techniques you can use. You can get the flat of the blade and hold it flat against it, which is just going to give you a little bit more texture. Then basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the heat gun, turn it on to 2, and we're just going to heat this all up. And even when you've got the sort of flat parts there of the polystyrene, it will just give it a little bit of texture.
And look, I'll tell you what I've been doing. I've been doing this stuff.
So basically, this is basically the simple way of carving your polystyrene.
Yeah, now he's gonna look at my stuff.
And after this, we're going to get into the sort of process of once the whole room's done, we're going to coat it all with 2 coats of drywall adhesive. Wait for that to set off, and then we can get into painting. But there's a lot of carving left to be done, and then we're going to go from there. So thank you for watching. We're going to keep uploading some videos about the progress on this room and further projects that we've got going on. So have a good day, and thank you for watching.